Hey, Motorman here. You know, I used to, before every video, I would tell you the first thing you should get for your motorcycle, accessories, everybody adds accessories, but the most important thing you could get is crash bars. Now, I just watched a video, and this happened to be a Motorman. I didn't know that till I commented on his video, and he's got a brand new lowrider ST, and he's in some gravel and sand, and the bike tips over, and of course he gets damage on his bags and gouges and scratches. He gets some on the fairing because he has no crash bars, and he has a tough time picking the bike up because when it's laying flat on the ground instead of at a 45-degree angle, it's much tougher to pick the bike up. But think about this for a second, folks. You spend a couple of $100, it's cheap insurance, especially for the soft-tailed Harley models. If you go on Amazon, there is a bunch of really inexpensive crash bars, front and rear, for Harley Davidsons as well as any other bike. In fact, no matter what bike you got, I suggest you get crash bars because it's going to protect the motorcycle. That's what they're there for. They're not supposed to protect it in a crash. They're supposed to protect the bike in a tip over so that you don't have any damage. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of different style bars, and I'll tell you one of the ones that do not work and a couple of the ones that actually do work. All right, these are the crash bars that come on the Harley police bikes and the Ultra, and I think one or two other models now. But they do a very good job of stopping damage to the motorcycle, especially if you have rear crash guards like this. This is just covered with a bag. In fact, I'll show you the other side. This piece right here, this is the one that stops any damage to the motorcycle in a tip over. These other cross pieces here, they really don't do anything. It's just for the looks of it. I put that on there. It didn't even come with the police bike. But the Ultras come with front and rear crash guards, and I don't think any of the other models do. But of course, they are available both from Harley Davidson and many aftermarket people, and there's different styles. But you need front and rear crash guards for complete protection. In addition, I have on this bike, and I highly recommend these, the motorcycle drop guards, 3/8 thick steel, front and rear for both sides. These stop any damage at all to the motorcycle. There's another one in the back here. And all important for 214 and newer Harley Davidsons, this piece, that protects the primary cover, because if the bike tips over on the left side, there's a possibility that you're going to damage this or bend it even, and it's going to start leaking oil. Then you got to replace this, and the whole piece is going to cost you like $1,000. So motorcycle drop guards, get a set of them. It's going to save you a lot of aggravation, and it protects the motorcycle completely. Now here's the ones for the soft tail models. This is a Lowrider S, and this is a Harley part. Sticks out. It's very heavy duty. I think it's a solid piece of steel. And I've never dropped this bike. In fact, I'm going to lay it over in just a minute, and we'll see how well it protects. Also, I put on this bike the rear, just in case. Now, I haven't dropped a motorcycle in like 25 years or something, but it's cheap insurance. This piece from Amazon, I think, was like 60 or 70 bucks. There are many styles of crash bars that you can get, or highway bars, whatever you want to call them, for this model as well as just about any motorcycle. So it really depends on what style that you like. Now here's this bike laying over on its side, and it is the first time actually I've done this, but I could see that the front crash bar, it's not even touching the ground, just the rear is. The primary, yeah, I could see that still getting damaged. Now I'm not sure if Motorcycle Drop Guards has the primary covers for, or the primary guard for this particular model, but if you did, I'd buy it immediately. In addition, notice, since the bike is laying at a 45-degree angle, it's much easier to pick up. Now here's the Electric Glide laying over on its side with front and rear crash guards, and of course the motorcycle drop guards. You'll notice, if I can get down really low here, the primary cover is not touching the ground because it has the motorcycle drop guards primary cover on it. So no damage there, no damage on the back. The only place that you can get any scratches is on the motorcycle drop guards, and that's what they're there for. You can polish them right out, and you know, if it really bothers you, you can sand it and polish it. If you have the black ones, you can sand, polish, and paint them. but these work beautifully, and it keeps the bike, like I said, from getting damaged. Now on the Sportster, we have these rounded bars. So if this bike tips over, it is going all the way over without any rear crash guards. So I do not recommend, this is, by the way, is from Harley. It came on the bike. I bought the bike used, so I haven't messed with it. But I could tell you, never get the rounded bars, because they're not going to help you hardly at all. This bike tips over, it's probably going to break off the clutch, damage the mirror, and probably the tail lights. And this is the style that comes with the newer bikes. This is a 22, but I believe the 2023 and 24 are the same. Notice I also put motorcycle drop guards on this bike, and it does not come with this rear bar. So I added that because I know they work and they prevent the bike from going all the way over, sort of a turtle, and damaging the bags or even the bottom of the bag. I had a student come to my class a couple of weeks ago in a 2024, beautiful brand new motorcycle. He drops it, and like I said, this didn't do enough. The bike went all the way over. He scratched his fairing. He scratched his bags pretty bad. So get front and rear crash guards regardless of what style you get. They make several different styles for this bike as well. I mean, if you go on Amazon, you know, I can't vouch for them, but this is not rocket science here to keep the bike from tipping over. So they should do the job and save you a whole bunch of money over Harley prices. If you want to get the best ones and you want to pay the Harley price, that's fine with me. That's what this, by the way, this is a Harley part, but I had that put on the bike before I purchased it. So pretty much that's all you need to know about tip overs. But I'm going to show you one other way to completely prevent your bike from tipping over in almost, well, I'd say 99% of the time. The best way, of course, to ensure that you don't have a low-speed tip over is to learn to use the clutch and throttle, also known as the friction zone. That's the area of clutch travel between completely open when you release it and completely closed. You want to stay at low speeds in that gray area, and in essence, you're slipping the clutch, feeding a little throttle. And the best way to practice this is to, well, practice the slow race. You can do that anywhere as long as there's not snow or ice on the ground. You could even do this in the winter. Practice that slow race. You want to be able to at least get to about a walking pace or even a little bit less without having to worry about dropping the motorcycle. So you got clutch, throttle, and a little bit of pressure on the rear brake, and keep your head and eyes up. That's very important. I'm going to show you how this works right now. All right, as the bike starts to move, I'm letting the clutch out slightly. I'm entering the friction zone. It's barely moving right now. If I feed a little bit of throttle, make sure that the bike doesn't stall. You need a little bit of throttle, 1500 RPM or so, and you want to stay in that gray area. Like I said, put a little bit of pressure, light, steady pressure on the rear brake, and it helps to steady the motorcycle. I'm on a hill right now, and you know, if you come to a stop on a hill, you better know how to use that friction zone. I can hold the bike dead steady right here in the friction zone. I'm not letting it move forward. I'm not using any brake at all, but I give it a little more throttle and let the clutch out ever so slightly. That friction zone is about 1 inch wide on most bikes, and the bike starts to move. Still in the friction zone. I'm staying there because I want to practice this slow race. Like I said, it's about a walking pace. I can go even slower. Some people could even bring the bike to a dead stop without putting their feet down, and that means you have really good clutch throttle control. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. And like I said, first thing you should get for your motorcycle, if it doesn't come with them, get yourself some crash bars. If it comes with front crash guards, buy the rear. Spend that extra few bucks, either from Harley Davidson or whatever manufacturer for your motorcycle. Try Amazon. There's always deals to be had. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Click that notification bell.